Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a teapot and 1 cup of sugar. Okay, so pour your 1 cup of sugar into your teapot. And then I use loose tea. And the reason for that is because I love drinking tea. I love loose tea. You can get it at the bulk barn. Often I get it in the Indian section in large jars. It's very economical. So 2 tablespoons of tea. And if you don't have loose tea, nor want to buy loose tea, you can use 8 regular tea bags, okay? And then you add your hot water to your teapot. And I stir my sugar and my tea in the teapot for a few moments. I leave the lid off the teapot so it cools quicker, and I usually leave that for half an hour to however long you want to leave it. But I like to have it cool, or at least room temperature, when I make my kombucha. So while the tea was cooling, I got my bottles ready to go. When I first started making kombucha, I used to use quart sealers and put the rings on really tightly. It worked probably 60% of the time, but sometimes the pressure inside got too much for the metal tops and the air would seep out, and then I wouldn't have any fizz in my kombucha. So I have totally converted over to these bottles. So I've made up a couple different ones. So this one is frozen raspberries. So you can see I've put about that much into the bottle, okay? This one is canned mango, okay? I've just used prepared mango nectar. I tend to really like it. It's quick, it's easy, open a can, you use it. And the part you don't use, I freeze for next time. This is my plum. I made plum juice last fall, and it's lovely in it. I've also used Tetra Paks of nectar juice, which also work quite well as well. So lots and lots of different recipes you can use for your flavoring. A Facebook page I would really recommend you go and do. It's called Kombucha Nation, Culture, Health, and Healing. Lots of great ideas on there, lots of problem solving. Definitely join if you're thinking about making kombucha. It's a great idea. So now what we've done is let our tea cool down. And then the first thing you want to do is grab your SCOBY out of your jar. And then put 2 cups of your starter tea in this. So I'm going to put 3 cups because of the SCOBY. I figure is about a cup, okay? So that's really important. And this is what you have been given to start your kombucha, okay? The SCOBY is important, but not near as important as the starter tea. You can make kombucha out of starter tea. You can't make kombucha out of just a SCOBY, okay? So I will just put that aside until we're ready to do the rest. And then I'm going to fill up my bottles, my kombucha that has set, okay? So I'm going to fill those up. Now everybody worries about their carbonation in it. And what I find is that carbonation really depends upon the temperature of your house. In the winter, it takes me up to 3 weeks, some 2 to 3 weeks, depending upon how cold my house is. In the summer, 5 days. So it's really, really temperature dependent. Have a taste of your tea at this stage and see what you think of it. Some people like it more vinegary, some people like it sweeter. I prefer mine a little sweeter. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fill up the rest of my bottle. Okay, so what I've done is I have poured the remaining of my sweetened fermented tea into my bottles. Okay, the top's on, and then I let that sit on my counter anywhere from 3 days to 10 days. Here again, depending upon how cold or hot your kitchen or room is. In the summer, what I do, because we live in a place that's really, really hot, I have a cold cabinet in my basement that I keep it in so it doesn't get too fermented too quickly and I can't drink it all. Okay, so then what you do, you pour your SCOBY and your starter tea back into your jar. And because I've used loose tea, I have to make sure I use my strainer so that the tea leaves don't go into my jar. Okay, and then I have some water here. You just fill up the rest of the water. Okay, I like to fill mine fairly full. And then I have a cloth, an elastic, and that's all you need to put on top. A coffee filter works well as well, a hanky, anything like that. You just don't want any of the fruit flies or anything getting into your tea. But don't put a lid on top of it because it needs to breathe, all right? And as far as SCOBYs go, SCOBYs can look very, very different, okay? This is one SCOBY, okay? This is another SCOBY, okay? It's got yeast on it, so it's perfectly fine to use. I used to peel them off and clean them and all that stuff, but don't do that. You want to leave all that goodness back into your kombucha sweet tea, okay? And then the other thing that I also have is what's called a hotel, where I store my extra SCOBYs and my starter tea, so that when somebody wants to start making it, I have some to give them. So it's always something that you give away to a friend or somebody who's interested in making it. So I hope that's been helpful. Good luck. Yeah, it's lovely, lovely to have. Oh, and I should just show you what my kombucha actually does. Oops. Look like as I'm pouring. Can you see? So as you can see, it's got fairly decent carbonation. And depending upon what you make it out of, I find pineapple is a very, very good fruit to use if you want lots and lots of carbonation. Be careful how you open it because mine has exploded onto the ceiling. So yeah, have fun, enjoy. Love making kombucha.